Продолжаем проходить диск Elysium. Музыку сейчас выключила, чтобы совсем мозг не разжижился. Побеседуем с Асель и с Ноиком, и с Соной. И потом нужно будет новый день, скорее всего, начинать. Может быть, будет немножко беготни. Выжимать там последние деньги с помощью энциклопедии. Так, я же сохранилась. Угу.
Welcome back.
На самом деле это иронично, что я дала ей шапку со скоростью реакции, чтобы она не замерзла в компьютерной игре, и в итоге для того, чтобы пройти проверку, нужна скорость реакции. Даже здесь игра в итоге тебя подлавливает. Ну, если что, будем загружаться. Поймать серебристую мухоловку.
O pasaro de agint. It flutters by your ear. It's what the Zemoyaki, the Gradian community in Revachol, call a person who never breaks under interrogation. It's an organized crime term.
Так. А тут земли, а тут земляки. Видимо. It's a земляки term. Я вспомнила это слово. Земляки обозначает тех, кто не раскалывается на допросе, сленг организованной преступности. Ну, попробуем первое.
Excuse me?
She's attempting to remain calm, but the phrase made her flinch.
What do you mean?
Серебристая мухоловка, вот почему ты так спокойно отнеслась к моим вопросам. Серебристая мухоловка.
All right. My father was a Zemyaki. He died years ago. He was a bad man. Not a lot of good things to say about him and what he did. He bought the family a huge house, so we got to live, at least temporarily, in a giant castle in Jamrock. And then he died.
И что потом? И что потом?
What do you think? The competition came and took everything away. It was like in a war zone. So after his death, we had nothing left, and we were in danger. My mother had to change her name, mine too. We left it all behind.
Уверена, как насчет вашего плана о нарколаборатории?
It was a stupid idea, and I'm still disappointed I came up with it.
Нифига себе, она еще организатор. Боже мой, я думала, эти вот ребятки.
Aren't there any local authorities who might look down on such activities?
Activities.
I took that into account, of course. Coordinated the operation with the débardeurs. Else they might get unhappy.
То есть ты хочешь сказать, что Эврар дал на это добро? Господи, то есть вот эта вся история с подписями, на самом деле, как обычно, для того, чтобы не детишкам помогать, а организовать здесь очередной притон. Но, с другой стороны, это игра, поэтому надо расслабиться.
Not in person, but I'll let them know. You can't do anything without the fat ones getting wind. It wasn't too difficult to convince them, really. It's a good thing you ended that mess, though. I felt I was turning Dad-wise into a corrupt business person. Unpleasant.
Как это? Я положила этому конец. Я никого не арестовала. Доказательств, кроме разрозненных ингредиентов в этой палатке не было, тем более, что они все сюда перетащили.
Hear that? Set justice on its feet. Confront Everard.
Да тут все плюс-минус в чем-то замешаны, так или иначе.
Come on, this is all fine. But you don't have anything on Everard now.
Ну
That's
да.
not how these things work.
Только косвенные улики и свидетельские показания одного свидетеля. Мы должны потребовать у Эврара объяснений. Возможно, эта информация поможет нам надавить на него. Добавить это в свой список задач. Хорошо, что ты мне об этом рассказала, но давай оставим все как есть. Не добавлять это в свой список. Нет, можно, конечно, добавить и оказаться в океане. Аня. Ну, давайте добавим. Все равно интересно.
No, I don't think it would lead anywhere with Everard. He's just going to deny it.
Deny it. Do you deny it?
Yeah. Have you seen Everard?
Ну да. И у него наш пистолет. Может быть, еще раз спросить?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You just go ahead. No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast.
Это хорошо, значит, соседи не будут жаловаться на шум, когда вы откроете свой ночной клуб. Принимая во внимание наши планы, это не очень-то хороший знак.
Exactly. It's our chance to turn the grim desolation into an overwhelmingly fun dance party.
Так, а теперь не могла бы ты рассказать мне о своих коллегах? Ну, может быть, сейчас?
Sure. But earlier today she told me about... Oh, I just tried to stay away from the crab man. Beats me. Nor who knows? Who do you want to know about? Andre?
She rubs her sides, but not from cold. Her shoulders are...
He takes care of shit. Sorry, nothing. But then again, must have taken... I've never seen... I mean, not that he does drugs, just high, you know?
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway. Come to think...
This is the first...
He's in some kind of a self-destruction mode. Yes. Who do you want to know about? Me? Again? I told you.
There's that phrase again. It really reminds you of...
It means I don't answer questions about myself. All right, there is. Is there a...
That would depend on the circumstances.
Thank you.
Ну, понятно.
Sure. Come on, I can tell. But, what is it? Oh, so the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress? No, it sounds like you just got chick issues. Well, think about...
Ну, понятно, хорошо. Что тут еще есть? Ничего. Ничего нового.
A better deal! Yeah!
Так, спокойно. Тут что?
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
Все еще 8.
Goodbye, officer.
Надо качать. Так, Сона. А, нет, подожди. Сначала вот с этим вот странненьким парнем.
You got us in, cop. I can't believe you got us in.
With wonder in his sharp eyes.
Between you and me, I don't know if you've noticed this about me. I'm a little suspicious of authority. But you really came through for the hardcore underground.
Yes, you really came through for the hardcore underground. How come?
Что-то кроет кицураги, или он пошел в роль.
Andre is busy cutting some slightly less lame, but still quite ungainly shapes on the church floor, sweating profusely. Estelle using her contact mic to listen to a tree underwater. The one with the large head is blasting the dance track on repeat, while the stained glass window behind him is rattling from the bass.
Уж лучше здесь, чем в той палатке. Там было небезопасно. Правда?
Okay.
Okay.
What he means is, you're right, actually. The tent was a safety hazard, and this place was deserted anyway.
Так, что-то там я помню, в прошлый раз у меня не получилось. Сила воли, я ее подняла. Что там по одежде? Да, и здесь я тоже подняла. Окей. Пробуем.
Yo, man, what's on your mind?
Что за одежда такая?
They're hardcore.
И все?
They're just clothes.
Ну да, выглядит экстравагантно.
Nah, these are just boring, normal, hardcore clothes. That's outlandish.
Это мой хороший друг и единомышленник, помогает мне зажигать от души.
I can see that. And you've partied very hard for a very long time, haven't you?
Сложно сказать.
It looks like you're trying to hang yourself with it. So large, too. So many different patterns. It's crazy, man. I like it.
You suddenly realize the patience and respect this speed freak has shown you is partly because of your style. He's probably not like that with everyone.
Respect as a man!
Угу.
They're hardcore. They're just clothes. Nah, it's just a vest of suspenders made to resemble a human rib cage. Plus some lady clothes to piss off the sex system. Now tell me about that hardcore necktie. It's fucking primal. It looks like you're trying to hang yourself with it.
You suddenly realize the
Respect as a man!
Что Тьяго рассказал тебе о церкви?
The crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's experienced things. Things that give off bad signs. As far as we can tell, the Ubies built this place about 320 years ago as a sarcophagus.
Ты хочешь сказать, что здесь есть покойники?
Not like a literal sarcophagus. I'm just being metaphorical.
Для чего?
Encasement, confinement, of something they were afraid of. Something new and unheard of on the Isla. I think that's what the crabman is experiencing when he climbs around upstairs. Like, this is some old world shit the Ubies had heard about. I thought the best way to deal with it was to build a church, surrounding it, to contain it.
Похоже, таким делом как раз мог бы заняться отряд дальновидцев. Я не совсем понимаю, что именно держать, но это мы потом спросим.
I doubt it. I don't even think the Ubies properly understood it. What it does. But it's what this sonar person is looking for and trying to measure.
Опять эти попытки измерить душу.
It'll be fruitless though. She won't be able to measure it. People like that always want to measure everything. All those things they really can't.
The wood creaks as a gale blows by. Outside, dust particles fall through the darkness, settling down on the age-bleached floorboards. The structure does not feel particularly durable.
Кажется, это здание не слишком прочное.
No, it's pretty fucking unsound if you ask me. They should have built a club for anodic music around it instead. Anodic music will definitely contain whatever we're dealing with. And if it can't, well...
Почему ты считаешь, что Саону постигнет неудача?
Seems to be the trend around here, doesn't it? You can't measure shit like this. It's not like... substance.
Я обнаружил в Мартинезе проклятую торговую зону. Может, от этого пытались уберечься Уби. Что за Уби? Убись. А, видимо, это подразделение.
Like a concentric ring spreading out. The struggling villages. And that is what caused the communards to fail in defending the beachhead. Yeah, a lot of failure has gone down around here.
Думаешь, в этой теории что-то есть?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It's not a thing we can answer, cop man. Even I have limits. I'm a limited-size person.
Ну, если это что-то неосязаемое, то и волноваться не о чем.
Maybe you can figure things out, cop man. I think we got on a good level here. The signs are syncing up well.
Так, ну мы уже с ним поговорили много о чем. Сохраняемся. Так.
Yo, man. What's on your... It's a miracle of carpentry. Dead bodies carved into total shapes. Now it can be something more.
Как думаешь, сколько лет этой церкви?
That's right. The first settlers built it, plus 6 more like it, on the coast here. Was one of the first things they did. Must have been really scared of something, but I understand. Alone on an uninhabited archipelago, forced to face themselves and nature. Pre-industrial quantities of solitude. The sea, perhaps something more fundamental.
He means something paranatural. He must...
I would want to build a safe place for myself and my own as well.
Ты говоришь это как плотник?
I don't say much anything as a carpenter anymore. They tried to make me into a reckoner and a leveller. Made me a bit manic, you know. I regret the time I dedicated to that profession and that worker collective. I say things more as a member of the hardcore side dance community these days.
Ты не хочешь спросить, откуда я знаю? Ну, очевидно, девушка сказала.
Why? You're a cop. I carry carpentry tools.
Ну, допустим. В каком стиле построена эта церковь?
A cop who's into building critique. Okay then. This is folk DeLoreanism. Lawmonger, It's a subset of early DeLorean architecture.
Я не просто коп, я арт-коп.
Art of core.
Ладно, какой была делорианская архитектура?
Total. Everything between an ancient concrete cathedral and a glass cube is DeLoreanism. This is just an homespun version of it. Folksy stuff. Early mass production. They made thousands like this. Does that help you out?
И на что были похожи делорианские здания?
Like that woman there. Vertical, thin, white. A false image of grandeur. The source of the system is up there. You're at the bottom. They really dug that power vertical. like to show off large and intricate structures. Arches, spires. Put you down with them. They were really into painting everything white too. Virginal shit, you know. Marriage shit. Virtue and tyranny. Stands to reason it used to be white on the outside, before the sea wind took all the paint off.
Year after year, flake after flake, whitewashed clean, then covered in green moss.
Это аллегория на то, что здесь все прогнило, включая здание. Ну, понятно, что для этого потребовалось время.
Slowly, peeled by the wind, your skin crawls from the sensation as you look around.
A cop who's into building critique. Total. Like that woman. Like to show off large and intricate. You're entitled to your wrong. Stands to...
Year up, slowly, peeled by the wind, your skin crawls from the sensation as you look around.
Как идет обустройство?
Hard to say, cop man. Signs in here are distinctly wild. Gonna take a while before everything's properly synced. I did get to talk to the crab man though.
Ты бродяга.
Anyway, he's been giving me kind of a psychic rundown of this place. Dude's seen some crazy shit, but he's actually a lot like us.
Ты хочешь сказать, что вся эта его телега про материнскую любовь тебя не пугает? А про трезвость не кажется ли тебе слишком ограниченной? Ты о чем? Пускай говорит.
The man picks up on stuff, and he knows a lot about the church. I got a lot to learn from him.
Любознательный малыш.
Good thing you didn't squash him.
Да я как-то и не пытался.
The crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's encasement, like, this is some old world shit. I don't know. And it's not, it'll be free.
The wood creaks as a gale blows by, outside.
Maybe you can figure things out, cop man. I think we got on a good level here. Dead body, spirit entered. I did get to... Anyway, dude's seen some crazy shit. But he's actually a lot... Have you been listening to what Egg's been saying? Love is up. The man picks up on stuff. And he knows a lot about the church. Good thing you didn't squash him. Dead body, spirit... I did get to... Anyway, dude's seen some crap. Talking to him, I realised that sobriety can be pretty... The man picks up on... Good thing you didn't squash him. Dead body, spirit entered. What is there to... I don't. Fuck are giving me the evil eye.
То есть ты так хотел пробраться в церковь, а теперь оказывается, что тебе не нравятся витражи?
I didn't know it was in here. We have to get rid of it. Dismantle it. Can't dance with a giant mass murderer looking at ya. Not a good look for the club.
Mellow, man, mellow. No one's a mass murderer. This is a house of love.
Mass murder on the floor!
The world spirit does not have a body. It has organs. Hardcore is an organ of the world spirit. This Arno van Eyck track is an organ. The carpentry and glass cutting that built this house are also organs. She's a thief, if you ask me. An organ thief. All innocences are. I like this question, cop man. She did not live the life of a human. She lived like someone who's playing a game. The life of an operator. That's not the life that humans live. She was adored. Humans aren't. I don't know about you, but they hate me. And they do not think I'm innocent or some shit like that. Well, they loved her. They put all their love in her and forgot all about the rest of us. No one says Arno van Eyck is a mass murderer. The Anodic pioneer Rietveld is not a mass murderer. He is not accused of mass murder. Likewise, no one says Jermaine Egghead or Andre are mass murderers. You can live entirely outside that suspicion. Billions of people go about not being guilty of mass murder. Just not her. There is. She is a party repellent and must be taken down before we can begin partying in here.
No, that's not it. It's something more. Something closer to your skin. The speed freak's eyes narrow with
It's not coming down. People are gonna love it. It'll be like our thing. Plus it keeps the cold and the rain out.
She invented the beauty you're feeling. She and her glass cutters and iconographers. You set the standard, all right. Then you meet it. It's effective like that, but it is also very soft of core. That so-called beauty of hers. In the true life of tomorrow, every woman will be an innocence. They will wear neon headbands and leggings, and they will glow in the dark.
But you don't like that, you liar. You like this one. The softness of her core is dear to you.
She then you meet it. It's effective like you wouldn't be the first. Millions liked her. She's got those mass murdering lips.
Так, один удар по силе воли, надеюсь, нам хватит.
Are you a commie cop? Then that's why. Communism's just a bloodier humanism, if you ask me. Has her love all over it. Humanism leads to eating sugar and pigs. Humanism was invented to mass-produce billions of humans. Billions of humans can mass-produce hundreds of billions of pigs.
And many, many more tons of sugar.
She liked games. Her legacy, the thing we live in, isn't real life. It's a strategy for some kind of victory against a long-dead opponent. But, yo, I'm only annoyed. What do I know?
Ладно, хватит с меня этих разговоров, не хочу больше думать о ней.
What a strange choice of words. Caustic. Overflowing with negativity. That can't be healthy.
Опять.
What's happening here? Why do you keep coming back to this window?
Нормально же все было. Ну хорошо, меня еще дважды, получается. Надо было подхилиться.
Why do you keep saying that if it isn't making you feel well? Don't come back to this anymore.
The mass murderer? Why? Okay.
Все, если выходишь, то она больше не срабатывает. Ладно. Быстренько.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Нет, не хочу.
It's a miracle of car. I don't say I regret the time I did. Why? That's right. Alone on a...
He mean
I would want to build a safe place. A cop who's into building critique. I'd of course. Total. Like that woman. Like to show off large and stands...
yeah, slowly peel.
A cop who's into build... Total. Like that woman. Like to show off... You're entitled. Stands to...
Yeah, slowly peeled by the wind.
Dead bodies are perennial. I saw some piglets suckling their dead mother. Have you heard this one, cop man? After a short while, they shuddered and went away. They had sensed that she could no longer see them, and that she wasn't like them anymore. What they loved in their mother weren't her body, but whatever it was that made her body live. End of quote. This is an high-quality carcass. The power of anodic beats and hard bass is needed to reanimate it.
Во-первых, откуда эта цитата?
A Sarais man who lived a long time ago, an ancient hardcore brother.
Ты хочешь сказать, что не являешься поклонником системы светочей? Ты хочешь сказать, что религия перестала быть хардкорной? Архорной?
A 3,000-year-old tyrannical regime of history, built and maintained by hundreds of generations of self-appointed intellectuals. It's false core.
The way he says it, the force in false core, is invested with 20 kilotons of disgust.
Но вы же, ребята, раньше говорили, что церковники — это сплошная любовь и хардкор, помнишь? Я ведь даже согласился с тобой, что церковники это все одобряли. Ты полагаешь, что танцевальная музыка сможет победить систему? Первое сначала.
I only said unity. One word. Figures of authority always misquote you. Andre doesn't care about the Ecclesiastes. He just wants the operation to run smoothly. And Egg is a demi-beast. You shouldn't listen to what people say. You should listen to what they are. Anodic dance music. Regular dance music wasn't hard enough. And yes, I do.
You know what this kind of stuff goes well with?
Раз для этого не надо быть под кайф.
Only a little.
Интересно. Так,
All large human gatherings are narcotic. Ask any such undertaking in history, this included. Chemistry is true to its word.
There is a difference between narcotics and group elation. One kills you, the other does not.
The supercharged humanism that the innocentic system has been feeding us on giant city squares, that's not a drug. The sugar and wheat it feeds us is healthy.
Forget it. It will become an imbecilic discussion. You two continue. It's more hardcore that way.
Hard to say, cop man. I did get to talk. Anyway, dude's seen some crazy shit. The man, good thing you didn't squash him. The crabman's been lurking here for a while in case, like, this is some old world shit. I dunno, it'll be fruit.
The wood creaks as a gale blows.
Maybe you can figure things out, cop man. I think we dead body, spirit, hard to... I did get to talk. Anyway, dude's seen some crazy shit. But he's actually a lot like us. Talking to it. The man picked. Good thing you didn't squash him. Dead body, spirit entered. What is there to talk of? I did get to... Anyway, dude's seen some Have you been The man picked. Good thing you didn't squash him.
Так, пробуем.
Yo, man. What's on your mind? Dead body, spirit entered. What is there to talk of? I don't. Fucker giving me the evil eye. I didn't know it was...
Mellow man!
Mass murder on the floor!
That's not the life that humans live. Well, they loved her. They put all their love in her and forgot all about the rest of us. No one. Likewise. No one said, are you a commie cop? Then that's why. Communism's just a bloodier humanism, if you ask me. As her love. The world's... This Arno van Eyck track is an organ. The carpentry and glass there is.
No, that's not it. It's something more. Something closer to your skin. The speed freak.
It's not coming down. People are gonna love it. It'll be like...
Humanism leads...
And many...
She liked games. She invented the... Then you meet it. It's effective like that. But it is also... You wouldn't be the first. Millions liked her. She's got those mass-murdering lips.
Так, проверяем.
What a strange choice of words. Caustic. Overflowing with them. That can't be healthy.
Да ну.
What's happening here? Why do you keep coming back to this window?
Откуда урон-то? Это в момент урон. Хорошо, будет, допустим, 15. Мне еще 2 где-то нужно взять силу воли. И где мне взять еще 2 силы воли? Или не говорить с ним пока об этом?
Yo, man. What's on your mind? Suspicious people are esoteric people. We don't go around spilling everything to Johnny Law. They don't call me Noid for nothing. It took us setting out for this whole enterprise to get our signs synced. It's short for paranoid.
Могу знать причину, что хорошего в подозрительности.
A reasonable question. Say I get hurt. I want to make sure it never happens again. So I analyse the situation. Exercise caution. Caution is suspicion.
Что вызывает твои подозрения?
It'd be easier to list stuff I'm not suspicious of. I'm not suspicious of sound and colour. Mechanics and chemistry also have a trueness about them. Most anything else deceives. Wants to steal your life away.
This is a good, dangerous line of questioning. You should prod him on.
А что самое подозрительное?
I don't have a top 10 list of things I'm most suspicious of, but if I had one, the left-right complex would be number 1. Number 2 would be their sole accomplishment, the pig-wheat paradigm.
Something is off here. You feel like it should be the other way around.
Почему ты считаешь подозрительным производство свинины и пшеницы?
It's our only shit. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain ourselves.
Что плохого в злаках? Иметь достаточно еды – это шаг вперед, признак развития, достижения... Да, движение к величию.
Yes, having food is means to an end, but the left never talks about the end, only the means. Caps are likewise suckers, constantly sleepless in worry. It's our only shit. Nothing. Animals are cool, guys. I like animals too, but that doesn't mean I have to be one myself.
Что там с правыми и левыми?
I prefer not to. Both ask the wrong questions. Any spark of light from either one is accidental. Their combined movement's only concern is producing enough pig and wheat for everyone. The end goal of humanity.
Привет, как впечатление от диска Elysium? Интересная игра. Да, она сложная. Она многогранная, дикая абсолютно. Единственное, конечно, что какие-то вещи настолько изматывают, что тяжело долго находиться в каком-то диалоге.
The original mistake was assuming that words have more being than bodies. That's what led us astray, far from our true lives, but we may yet find a way back.
Whatever this true life is, you feel it's the real centerpiece of this mythology.
Так, ты хотел сказать парадигму правых и левых и свино-пшеничный комплекс.
No, politics is an inert complex of daily corruption and inane think pieces. The real paradigm is economic, and it concerns pig and wheat. This is where the innovation happens. It's only a theory, but I suspect they're breeding a pig-wheat hybrid. Probably in Grad.
То есть у тебя умственное расстройство.
Mental illness is a term that powers you to homogenise people. I think I don't reach mental illness. I am merely politically ill. A suspicious element.
Что ж впечатляет? Хочу спросить тебя о другом.
His eyes flicker.
Так, ну... Я так понимаю, это последний этап диалога.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Ты упомянул настоящую жизнь. Что же это такое?
A life is true if it's free from fear. An internal division among oneself. And others, mankind has seeds of greatness in it. A germinal will come, a return to trueness. It will be hardcore.
И как же вернуться к этой настоящей жизни?
Beat some bright lights to shatter falsehoods. Nerve impulses for the collective body. We are very much alike in basic structure.
Hello.
An hard enough beat would awaken everyone to a truer calling. In unity.
Just like that, the speed freak is right in your face, his eyes burning. His comrades look on worriedly. The young man is dead serious about this. Rejection of the right-left axis, emphasis on unity, appreciation of some primordial mode of being. What does that remind you of?
То есть вроде как фашизм.
Nationalism, militarism, racism, and emphasis on a leader character are totally absent in Hardcore.
Отраженные эхом от церковных стен слова звучат величественно. Ясно, я просто озвучил наблюдение. Я не имею в виду ничего плохого, но разве более хардкорные люди не должны управлять менее хардкорным, указывать им путь? Я не имел в виду ничего плохого. Просто озвучил наблюдение. Ясно.
He picks up a wrench and scratches his head with it, unaroused by fascism.
Может, он не понимает, что это означает? То есть ты выступаешь за основанное на шуме общество. Что за шум? Noise-based society. Ты все время говоришь про хардкор, что ты вкладываешь в это слово. Первое сначала.
Many non-Occidental cultures share a beat at their art. Thus, they are closer to true hardcore life. There's just never been enough of them, and they had to rely on some extremely basic percussion.
Lord of the Western Plain, it is really happening right here. The migrants are contaminating our youth.
Я должен был догадаться. Вы повторяете за киптами. Что за кипты? Поэтому вот такие шизануты сейчас не стоит слишком бурно реагировать. О чем мы там говорили? Ты все время говоришь про хардкор. Что ты вкладываешь в это слово?
Utmost dedication. Thoughts from the spinal cord. It's a potent superlative as well.
Superlative. Utmost dedication. Spinal cord. Superlative as well.
The term also signifies certain varieties of pornography that depict penetration, just so you know.
Alright.
Egghead usually has a better concept of the hardcore. He just really likes saying hardcore.
Hardcore!
Выкрикивает из-за пульта его друг с улыбкой до ушей, лицом похожим на луну и глазами полными незамутненного изумления. О, боже. Кажется, это была плохая идея впускать их, но, возможно, Sony это поможет. Хардкором также называют одно из направлений. Ты это знал? Это очень туманно. Одержимость, что-то там, кульминация. Первое сначала.
That's a pretty hardcore coincidence, don't you think?
Совпадение.
Yeah!
Так,
Lord of the Western.
Так, другое.
Lord of the Western Plain.
Так, он нам ничего, получается,
Lord
ничего
of the
не
Western
скажет.
Plain.
Oh yeah, sure thing.
Концептуализация. Надо сейчас переодеться на концептуализацию. Может быть, у нас докачается, и мы сможем силу воли поднять. Так, сохраняемся. Концепции. Где это? Вот. Шесть.
Yo, man, what's on your mind?
Вот уже 72. Пробуем.
Dedicated, hyperactive, unified. You will have to add something of your own to understand this list of loosely formed qualities called hardcore. You need your own entry. Make it. Test your limits. Surpass them. Dance till you drop. Dance till you die, if you must.
Хардкор — это люди, хардкор — это республика, веселье, бунт. Мы правим, мы учимся, мы сражаемся. Расцвет хардкора может произойти только здесь, в Ревашоле, на дне геополитической бездны. Трубят боевые рога. Мы сможем начать сначала. Мы будем... да будет благословен мир, который дал завершиться хардкорному циклу, истинному наследнику доларианских ценностей. Прошло 3,5 века, а дыры все не иссякают. У меня есть нора и бублицо. У тебя фигурка есть и лицо. Ну-ка вместе скачем по миру. Светит солнце, нас не остановить, мы будем танцевать до конца света. Это какой-то апокалиптичный, видимо, слоган. Вообще-то так нечестно, повсюду народ отжигает. Кажется, мне нечего добавить. Мы сможем начать все сначала. Кто революционер? Даже не знаю. Наверное, начать все сначала. Ну, боевые рога, наверное, звучит не очень хорошо, но начать сначала.
Oh yeah, it feels manly, beautiful.
Так, навык не дали. Так, удачи. Что там нам за мысль-то надумали? Эстетика хардкора, техника -2. -2 техники, я, конечно, к этому не готова. Сколько там? 2 часа. Ну, может быть, по-быстрому. Но для этого нужно от чего-то избавиться. От абрикоса и вот этой штуки. Так, ну, поговорим с Соной тогда.
Yes, what is it?
Как продвигается проект? Вижу, соседи заехали, но все, что я слышу лишь анодная танцевальная музыка.
What?
What?
What did you say?
Она наклоняется поближе, выражение лица у нее озадаченное. Что вы сказали? Едва слышно за оглушенными басами анодной музыки. Я спросил, как продвигается проект?
I can't hear you. The music is too loud. Oh, the project! It's not going well.
Видимо, никаких дополнительных очков опыта нам не дадут.
There's that guy. I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers. Egghead! A 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input. Okay?
А почему вы просто не попросите его?
He doesn't listen to me. He only ever seems to care about hardcore and Yekukata. A place to be, apparently.
Я поговорю с ним, посмотрим, что тут можно сделать.
Maybe you can get through his magic rhymes. Let me know how it goes.
Так. Ну.
A better deal! Yeah! Medium car!
Эй, ты можешь вывести сигнал Саоны на колонке? Так, интересно, может быть он... Делаем чуть-чуть погромче.
To the mega! Yeah! I can route it through auxiliary! What kind of a cable does she use? 3.5 or 4.5? Oh, she uses 3.5. Yeah. The auxiliary lining is 4.5 millimeter. These two don't mix.
Oh no, we're going to be in this church forever.
Don't worry, I have an adapter for it right here. Hang on, this is a 4.5. We're all good, people!
Whoa, thank God. Adapters noticeably degrade the sound quality.
Great! Someone got through to him. Okay, let's get it all set up.
Так, ой, не загрузить. Ой.
Everybody! Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the Arno for just a sec. For a special scheduled event. The Arno will be back, but we're doing something else for one moment. Alright, go tell her that Egghead is ready to rave to her tunes. And then I'll turn off the music.
Yes, what is it?
Итак, я поговорила с Камоном. Он подключил кабель. Теперь вы можете включить звук в своих наушниках.
Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit? Just in case.
Maximum!
Сейчас все взорвется.
Maximum is the only way!
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time? Maximum is not the only way, okay?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
Glue style? Okay, there literally is no other way. The mixing desk is glued to maximum.
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless.
Зачем ему убавлять громкость?
Because I'm afraid that something might happen. It's an unknown phenomenon. We can always turn it back up if there's a need.
Can't turn down the hardcore!
Мне кажется, Камон пытается сказать, что кнопку регулировки громкости заклинил на максимуме.
Of course it is.
Yeah! Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
Egghead pumps his hand up in the air, waiting for the beat to drop.
Born ready. Ready.
I'm ready if you two are detectives.
The lieutenant nods stoically. Not so stoically, his hand moves to the gun holster.
Чем тебе пистолет-то поможет?
Suddenly, your palms are sweaty. The church seems cold and large, somehow. There's tightness in your chest. Anxiety.
What?
Возможно, нам не следует это делать, слишком опасно, да еще на максимальной громкости.
No, we should definitely do this. I am going to do this. Ready?
Her hand is trembling slightly.
Готов.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged.
No wind outside, no waves, no floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural. The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly, it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It's out there now, in the world, made manifest. It will devour everything. The floorboards, the glass, the streets and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on?
This fragile world is about to break.
It's getting louder.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
In his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire coastlines on its way. Salvation. He's peaking, the worst high he's ever been on.
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
No, Egg! It's the window!
In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside, cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route.
The window is going to come down. No, the roof!
Cracks appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
Come down to us! Love!
Below it, all the bass grows, like the jaws of a giant compressor gnawing on metal and wood. It does not sound benevolent at all. It's shaking the building's foundation. The floor twists. A great pulse arises in your flesh.
That's it. I'm muting it.
Интересные варианты, конечно.
Oh! I want to feel the heat with somebody!
Shit! It doesn't stop. A seal? Have you?
Что же падает?
Yes, I've turned it off. Andre, pull the compressor. The place is gonna come down.
Fuck! I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here.
In the mixing desk now, building into a positive feedback loop. This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's coming down.
Интересно, она сама прекратится или будет какая-нибудь заставка?
But then it stops, totally and utterly, as if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore.
You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time. This is what we were up against. Just erased it. Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now. Thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. That's a start.
То есть Долорес Дэй все-таки была инопланетянкой. Ким, ты слышал?
It was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here. And you need to be very careful with it.
I promise, officer. We will not play it again.
Что это было? Никогда такого... ничего подобного не слышал.
It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically, I have no idea. I've never even heard of anything like this.
То есть это какое-то психологическое воздействие, поэтому все ей поклонялись. Не просто так. Все думали, что это тишина. Может быть, она постоянно включала это как-то. Может, это было в легких у нее.
A voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure.
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear.
That it wasn't her fault. Or theirs.
They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway.
Что дальше?
Stay here. I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Suliswolf. Also devise further measurements.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
That's the best she can manage for Andre. It's quite a lot in truth. For her, at least.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. Or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Yes, and we have to get back to stabilizing Martinez. Instead of demolishing it with loud bass noise of unknown origins.
Some tiny hard thing lets go in your stomach. You're still alive. You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you, you know. The person you were knows.
Так, ну, надо опять переодеться. У нас теперь есть бонус. Сейчас мы попробуем. Поможет ли нам вообще это?
Yo, man. Dead body, spirit entered. I don't. Fucker giving me the evil eye. I didn't know it was it.
Mellow mass murder on the floor.
Humanism.
And many...
She liked games. No, likewise. Are you a commie cop? Then that's why. Commie there is.
No, that's not it. The speed freak.
It's not coming down. People are gonna love
The world's... This Arno van Eyck track is an organ. That's not the life that humans live. She was adored. Humans aren't. I don't know about you, but they hate me. Well, they love... She invented, then you meet it. It's effective like, you wouldn't be the first.
What a strange choice. Costing. Oh, that can't be healthy. What's happening here? Why do you keep coming back to this window?
Все равно не работает. Почему-то 14. Я же не переоделась. Блин. Вот. 9. Пробуем.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Так, что-то я не то загрузила.
Yo, man. What's on your mind? Dead body, spirit enter. I don't. Fuck, I didn't know.
Mellow mass murder on the floor.
That's not the life that humans live. Well, they love the world. This Arno van Eyck trap. There is.
No. The speed.
It's not coming down.
Are you a commie? Then that's why. No, likewise. She invented, then you meet it. It's effective like that, but it is also very soft, of course. You wouldn't be the first. Humanism.
And many.
She liked games.
What a straight caustic. That can't be healthy.
Не
What's
хватает.
happening here?
Одного
Why do you
не
keep coming back
хватает.
to this window?
То есть должно быть 10, чтобы осталось 9, и мы прошли. Ладно, потом.
But it isn't. And you shouldn't come.
The mass murderer? Why? Okay. Sure. Dead body, spirit entered. What is there to talk? Sure.
Так, нужно еще, получается, раньше. А, я уже вкачала, что ли?
Yes, what is it? Yes, what is it?
Ладно.
Yes, what is it?
You don't have to. You already have. A long time ago. These thoughts formed in you somewhere, in a long forgotten discussion, behind a kitchen table, in the evening light. Drinking coffee and smoking, with a friend. And a woman, she was there too. Her hair smelled of shampoo and she was smoking.
Сауна — это источник серости.
What?
Воронка — это всего лишь самое начало, это зарождение источника серости.
But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
That comforts her.
Нет, сначала посмотреть наверх. Мы в 20 метрах от ближайшего рубежа.
She looks up into the darkness under the nave, then back at you. You have her full, undivided attention. The lieutenant's, too. He takes his glasses off.
Then what is that?
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing. No.
Это меньше, чем ничто. Конечно, состояние покоя реальности. Представьте, что всего этого ты разводишь руки в стороны, никогда не было.
Then the Pale is... But the gradient, it clearly hasn't started yet. We're here, and the Pale is not.
Однажды, когда она станет больше, это случится.
I understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes, like a cancer or a mold, erupting in points inside the world.
Так, а молд как написано? Ну, так же. Это как раз одно из таких мест.
According to this, how long?
Пока воронка не начнет затягиваться, уже начала, она уже втянула в себя звук. В смысле, серость как космос, что ли? Там ничего нет?
And information, causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects in addition to sound and data?
An intellectual hunger fills her now, casting fear aside.
I also have a question, since we are piling them on. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM...
Может, он-то выяснил, напился, у него поехала крыша.
Knows how to think this.
Она не образовалась в церкви, эта церковь образовалась вокруг нее. Все предприятия, что разорились в проклятой торговой зоне, все беды, постигшие Мартинес. Кажется, эти мысли уже посещали меня. Вот откуда я все это знаю. Закончить разговор. Первое.
Of course! A pinewood sarcophagus! Or a containment facility of some kind, built by the first settlers.
Да, они действовали интуитивно или на основе каких-то религиозных традиций, о которых уже никто не помнит. Или это всего лишь совпадение. Ну, пускай первое.
I have considered the same. The bad news is there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of provincial settlement. Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but...
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
Все предприятия.
You think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even, say, software development?
She already made up her mind when she heard it. Some kind of great and uncaring force had to play a part. It wasn't only them.
Да, революция здесь не увенчалась. О, боже. Да, даже революция здесь не увенчалась успехом. Я имею в виду, Энтропонес добрался и до истории. Все эти предприятия и идеологии, что потерпели крах, здесь явно что-то не так. Нет, тут уже притянуты за уши, люди сами виноваты в своих неудачах. Да, третье.
True, we never should have upgraded to Vox 50. and the spec kept changing, and those damn heads. But still, the anomaly caused a massive data loss, so it had a part to play. It does something.
Кажется, все эти мысли уже посещали меня.
An amateur anthropomorphic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yes, it is very interesting, but I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthropometric scientists.
Когда-нибудь весь мир превратится в такую 2-миллиметровую прореху.
She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the stained glass window, cold and moist.
Ждем. 5 часов.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest, some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but...
Man, you will certainly sound mad.
Certainly, что?
One more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
Да, затея все еще безумная, как и я. Такой клуб единственное, что способно удержать это место и всю остальную реальность от распада. На самом деле, я вот сейчас подумал, не опасно ли это. Да как ты вообще, оно же не изучено. Что на него влияет, что ему противоборствует, что ему потворствует, вообще непонятно. На самом деле, не опасно ли это? Кто его знает?
Maybe, but...
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out!
Thank you, Egghead. Let's leave it at that, shall we? We have an anthropometric detection to perform in this district.
Есть одна загадка, которую я пытаюсь решить: потустороннее сообщение в домофоне проклятой торговой зоны.
The creepy woman! We were wondering about that when we worked there, but I had completely forgotten about it ever since. It must be anthropometric crosstalk, the one you get in radios and long-distance calls. Now it makes sense, with the pail right on the doorstep.
Incredible. This would also explain why we get it on the police radio all the time.
Энантропонетические перекрестные помехи.
It's quite common, actually. When the signal gets routed through Pale, all kinds of irregularities take place. You may hear snippets of someone else's conversation, or the voice of your former lover, or an echo of an event that took place 100 years ago. Pale is a shroud of memories, and it doesn't really distinguish to whom those memories belong to. You could hear anything.
Понятно, спасибо, что объяснили.
Anytime.
Ужас. Ужас. Так, ну, у нас остался... Так, музычка. Чуточек спокойнее. У нас остался Ноик. Нет, даже вообще больше не могу. Попробуем со всеми поговорить, если они нам что-нибудь скажут новое.
A better deal! Yeah! Medium car!
Ух ты, сумасшедший был звук.
Yeah! It was awesome! And scary! Very hardcore! Too hardcore, in fact! I couldn't control it! At all!
И что случилось?
It sucks up all the air in the mix until it's the only thing left! Starts compressing itself and everything around it! Completely fills up the headspace! Extreme!
Inside your chest, the heart beats still with the after effects of the sound. Imagine if you could harness that power, making it pulse.
А что, если это и есть решение для микса Ванейка? Мы смогли бы использовать дух в качестве баса.
But how?
Сейчас там громкость сломалась.
What about the compressor? The one with the spiky hair was setting up. to achieve some sort of parallel processing.
Так, надо опять переодеться, получается. Или нет? Но я больше не могу сделать. Ну, сейчас будем пробовать. Ладно. Что у меня тут есть? Наверное, ничего. Угу. Штанишки на эквилибристику. Так. Ну, сохраняемся. Надо одеть другую шапочку.
A better deal! Yeah! Medium car!
Sidechain the beat. Listen, you can use the compressor to select between which track it's compressing, either the auxiliary signal or the main input from the tape. Make it alternate between the signals.
Чисто теоретически этот сигнал все равно идет, потому что канал не прикрыт.
The compressor controls the gain based on the level of the signal on the aux sidechain input. It will allow maintaining a loud sound without peaks that fill up all the headspace.
Sidechaining it, you said?
То есть все-таки он может убавить громкость.
Then he puts on his headphones and his eyes go wide, wider than they've ever gone on drugs. He starts jumping up and down with bliss in total silence, still listening to his headphones.
Hey, what did you do to Egghead, Cop Man? Did you break him?
Я не уверен.
Are you ready, pussy?
Noid straightens his back, ready for the beat.
I was born ready, Egg.
Ой, 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 ой.
Speed Freak dances on the stage, intensely waving his hand.
This is beauty! This is life!
Я же выключил музыку.
What in the world is going on? The way melody and bass flow together, it's unnatural.
Your body is taking a beating from the low frequencies crashing over you. It's making you feel alive again.
This is wild. The signs are off the charts.
God damn it. This dance club idea
Каким-то
might just work
депешмодом
out.
немного. Немного депешмодом отдает.
DeLorean Church! The place to be! Pump it! Pump it!
Who will be the innocence of hardcore melodic dance music?
Так, ну, по-моему, здесь все.
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
Но стало повеселее чуточек. Еще пару штанишек одеть.
Goodbye, officer.
Welcome back.
Так, у нее ничего нового. Еще 10 и будет новый левел.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Ого.
Yes, what is it?
Так, если я потанцую, мне наверняка же дадут очки опыта. Так, штанишки. Эквилибристика 4. Что у нас еще есть на эквилибристику? О! Энциклопедия 3 ожидаемо. Зато эквилибристика 5. Нужна ли нам шапка? Да и кофта тоже не нужна, хотя у нас, по идее, должна... О, ХП-3. О май. Немножко драмы. Штанишки, тапочки. Может, вообще без тапочек. В носочечках. Так. Эквилибристика 4. Ну там уже хорошо все на 42%. Может быть, чуть повеселее будет. Нам хотя бы, чтобы 50 было. Не, пускай будет без ботиночков. Да и вот это нам, в принципе, не нужно. И вот это не нужно. Галстук оставим. Мне тоже не нужно. Попробуем. Попробуем.
Yes.
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
58, уже неплохо. Так, ну-ка.
You close your eyes and vacate your skull, leaving your brain to wonder, where did that little fluttering light go?
Total darkness. you sink down the darkest fathoms of your own personal deep. Here it will begin.
Куда делать церковь?
Who fucking cares?
Мне страшно.
Good. You should be.
Куда исчезла музыка?
Oh, don't worry. The music's still there. It's you who is gone.
Нет, правда, почему я не слышу ничего?
This is a pivotal moment. Try not to piss yourself. Nothing. Just the immaculate silence of your spinal fluid. Electrified.
It comes to you like a blue whale. You sense it stir the tranquility of the deep. A single note of bass passing through. Then it's gone. Back to El Silencio.
This is where the beat plunged. It will resurface soon. Brace for glory.
Что там насчет несформированных черепов?
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Every vertebrae in your spine is an unformed skull ready to pop up and replace the old one. Like shark teeth. The one you're currently in has a little brain forming in it, waiting for its turn. To rule the world.
Боже, это что, правда?
Yes, it's all true. In the spinal cord.
Что тебе нужно?
From what I can see, it's about to bust a move.
Так, что там еще есть?
To rule the world.
И кто же ты?
I am the spinal cord.
Что происходит?
From what I can...
To rule in the spinal cord.
Good. Because from what I can see, it's about to bust a move.
Зайтись в танце.
Foolhardy. Do you even know what's happening on the surface? Maybe 1,000 years have passed. Or maybe you started spazzing out like 2 seconds ago.
With your eyes still closed, the first thing you feel, all the way back in the pivoting darkness of your own torso, is warmth. You have become a triumph of rhythmoplastics. Somewhere in a smelly wooden church on the coast of Revachol. The wounds from the war you waged on your body are healing, twist by twist, turn by turn. As you open your eyes, you should scream, hyper, hyper. It seems appropriate. You have become a flawless interlocking mechanism, a flesh and bone approximation of the throb coming from the speaker setup of the one called Eggheads, entirely, rigidly imbecilic, without pity or fear. From self-awareness, no deliberation, only, and I mean only, execution.
Oh my god! No way!
Hardkor!
With his reel-to-reel mixer blasting the anthem of a future that will never come, the young man observes your moves for a second. He throws a screwdriver and a bunch of drill chucks into the corner and what he lacks in sharpness, he more than makes up for in violent enthusiasm. The young woman lifts her headphones up slightly.
Asil, aren't you going to dance?
No, recording.
The lead programmer throws the other young woman a knowing glance before turning her attention back to her own work. She's still at her mainframe, pressing buttons, reading printouts, but she started nodding her head along to the music. The young man immediately bounces up and down, then assumes the same dance pattern, embellishing it with some sort of waving motion. The authority of the law is clearly unquestionable.
What's going on here? Delinquents.
This is clearly a Code 31 emergency. The lieutenant squeezes the bridge of his nose. The lights reflect off his glasses. He's obviously having trouble adjusting to this new reality.
A Code 31 emergency? Really?
Да, офицеры запрашивают подкрепление на танцпол быстрее.
The lieutenant crosses his arms with a boom.
What's happening?
Ким, спасай, кажется, я превращаюсь в какую-то гиперзвезду. Нет, это, видимо, все прекратит.
Good for you. Rock on, then.
Somehow, you manage to hear him sigh.
What?
Блин, авторитет. Под это я не одевалась. Я же говорила на танцполе чрезвычайной ситуации. Чрезвычайно, ты слышал, Ким, мне требуется подкрепление. Вот оно, не дай лейтенанту уйти, не получу свою дозу хардкора. Пробуем. Ура! Лейтенант, это первый и последний раз, когда я пользуюсь своим вышестоящим положением. Это приказ.
Are you kidding me?
Нет, я абсолютно серьезен, поверь мне. А теперь давай, лейтенант, пришло время зажигать.
Get my what on?
Sheesh, okay.
Okay, you psychopath. I see what you're doing there. It's jacked up footwork, plus is that Ubi for dancing?
Я классно танцую, ну что ты, Ким?
No, it's not Ubi folk. It's hardcore.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah? I did 15 years in the juvenile crime unit. I can do age inappropriate. Now, check this shit out.
Так.
The lieutenant begins to heel kick the church floor with such intensity, it's reasonable to fear he'll kick a hole right through it, causing the floor to crack and the pillars to collapse, bringing the church roof down on all of you. It doesn't look like he'd give a shit either. The dynamic motion of your flailing body is bordering on the extreme. You're going off the charts. You feel as if turning on the hyperdrive would be a point of no return.
Here we go again! Hardcore fills the air! The sound above my head!
What now? The sound above your what?
Above my hair, man!
Okay, this is too imbecile. Excuse me.
On
Пробуем.
the coast of the Martinez Inlet, in a small weather-beaten state church built 380 years ago by settlers from the
Неужели краба
Occident,
сейчас?
most likely to guard against an anomaly at its center. An officer of the RCM is contorting his body into idiotically rigid shapes as he invents the future of dance music. It's the hardest anyone has ever danced.
Меня не покидает странное чувство, что это такой холод даже сейчас.
I am la Revacholière. I am the city.
Столица, что ты имеешь в виду?
I am a fragment of the world spirit, the genius Loki of Revachol. My heart is the wind corridor. The bottom of my air is red. I have 100,000 luminous arms. Come morning, I carry industrial dust and let it settle on tree leaves. I shake the dust from those leaves and onto your coat. I've seen you. I've seen you. I've seen you with her. And I've seen you without her. I've seen you on the crescent of the hill.
Ты можешь разговаривать со мной?
The modulations of my voice are noted down with thermometers and barometers. You feel me in your nostrils, on the little hairs on the back of your neck. I also reside in your lungs and vestigial organs. Everywhere there is space.
Но кто я такой? Почему ты говоришь со мной?
You are an officer of the citizens' militia, jaunt in rebut. When you wear your coat, you wear my soul. You move through my streets freely, in motor carriages and on foot. You have access to the hidden places. You also circulate among those who are hidden. I need you. You can keep me on this earth. Be vigilant. I love you.
An officer of the RCM is lying on the floor of a small church with his eyes rolled back and his tongue lolling out. Several others are standing around him. He
Had a good rest there?
Я говорил самим городом Ревашолем.
Fuck yeah! I bet you did. Those were some advanced moves, man.
That's all great, but we should really get going. We spent enough time doing aerobic exercise for today.
All right. Ну, хоть подхилились немножко.
You might be imagining it, but it feels like Egghead turned the volume down. Such is his respect.
Man! Now, man! Now imagine if we could do that, right? But with like 1,000 people.
Да, и церковь разнесет окончательно.
End of human development. Mission complete.
Просто улет.
All right.
You're absolutely beat. Muscles relaxed and feet like noodles underneath.
It's to
Is that a bald spot?
Maybe it was a bad. Oh yeah.
If you don't know what the founding party is,
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. Yes. Goodbye, officer.
Amazing, просто amazing. Невероятно, это было очень круто. Самое главное, энергично так. Так, а что у меня там с сохранением? Сохранить. Нормальный сейв сделаем. Так, и у меня есть одна для того, чтобы силу воли пройти. По идее, эквилибристика мне больше не нужна. Одеваемся в приличное. Все. Странно, когда у меня нормальное количество силы воли, она вообще не бьет, получается, по духу, но это абсолютно бесполезный диалог. То есть вкачивать в это вообще Можно было этого не делать, короче.
Sure.
Так, сейчас посмотрим. Сейчас выйдем из этой. Посмотрим, что там за мысли. Так, ну думаю, с этим местом все. Фух, боже, наконец-то тишина. Так, теперь самое время заняться мыслями. Есть две мысли. Одна из них уборка в комнатах, очень большая, но без минусов. И вторая про технику какую-то. Вот, эстетика хардкора. Минус 2 техники. Смотрим, что дает нам эстетика. Нужна ли она нам? Посмотрим. В принципе, этот люк мы открыли. Нам дали какой-то модный домкрат. Постоянные бонусы стойкости, сила воли. Да. Стойкости, сила воли. Но это ХП. И сила воли, которая нам опять же больше, наверное, не понадобится. Но, в принципе, ее можно изучить, пожертвовав восприятием. Хорошо, что там про уборку было? Смотрим. Уборка в комнатах. Что она дает нам? Внушение, внутренняя империя, риторика. Ну, риторика может быть. На нас, в принципе, и так достаточно. Внушение. Внутренняя империя. Можно качнуть. Раз, два, три. Вот, все на восприятие заточено. Это деньги. Деньги и опыт, прокачка. Вот это непонятно. Это нам нужна. Это риторика. По идее, надо сейчас начать изучать что-то. Внушение и риторика еще одна. Но риторика у нас более чем достаточно. Из одной риторики 5. Так, сейчас сохранимся. Если убрать вот эту мысль. Так, у меня было 2. Осталось 2. Но здесь координации вроде было 3. Техника никуда не делась, самообладание тоже никуда не делось. А, 5. Координация 5. Это потому, что я ее не выучила, поэтому она пропала. Моторика основа 2. Вот и тут тоже было 7, получается. Пока все не выучу, нельзя от этого отказываться. Хватит ли мне столько? И нужно ли мне столько? И вот это тоже, в принципе, можно Убрать. Внушение, риторика. Внушение, риторика. Это я хочу убрать, это 100%. Но Колда Мамадаку, наверное, еще понадобится с этими. А, еще из-за навык забывается. Ладно. Что сейчас нужно сделать? Я могу под караоке спеть, но там мало людей. Имеет ли это какой-то вообще смысл? Острова Спирса. Интересно, с пирса как проверить? А, этого пирса.
You're back.
All around you, rain keeps falling down. On the wooden boards she's standing on, and on the water around you.
Sadly, I need this one myself. It's hydrophobic, repels water, almost magically. The company makes them for offshore platform personnel. Very sturdy. What I can do for you is answer some questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day. The coalition...
There is bitterness.
The moralist, at least not...
The ruler...
This is...
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
Of course.
Rooty-tooty, pointy-shooty.
That's the way of history. Why, of course. No. I don't know.
It takes time for the apes to change.
Those would... Oh. Did they ever?
Yeah.
Yes. The insulin... Yes. Oh, lots of... The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture captain. I prefer him and tens of thousands. The liberals got the mineral. Liberals, some were rich. They didn't...
We...
To foreign inter... The coalition of...
There is
The moralist, at least not...
The ruler...
This is...
The color of moralism is blue.
An almost endearingly moralist standpoint. The turn of... The revolution... It wasn't a coup. It made people overthrow their governments. Indeed, from revolution... Why?
Something tells you her life and yours.
No doubt. A city...
The clatter of...
The zone of control... Modernity.
51. minus 8 equals 43.
Time flies. The 20s, the 30s.
Then you...
Yes. Welcome to reality. I've no right. We could have had so much more. Good question.
No, her first.
And I.
Here's some wisdom. A code.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion?
The wind, a dog bark.
It's Holly.
A poor remedy. Capri. And what is it?
My position.
Understandable. They are what? Anyway.
Now's your chance. Ask her who she is. She won't get out this time.
We're in Martinez. A casual term.
She referred.
Martinez, you would be excused for not knowing. I'm not a good. As I told you, it's not. Yes.
Known to the early Rivisholians as les immensités bleues, the blue immensities. Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
Caillou.
It is clear, and to humanity at large.
I would be happy to. What is a preposterously expensive education? We're in Martinez. Martinez, you would be excused for not knowing about it. Revachol, the great...
As if it's so...
History detective. The nations of the... In the DeLorean century. They say it... By that I mean... We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island, able to sustain up to 200... Oh, we're quite...
A sparkle of light.
22 kilometers.
Silence. The water, the light. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
We are...
This is one...
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember nothing more.
Yes.
He's being sarcastic.
We are.
Yes. That... The RC...
All three are good to know when we are out policing.
There's nothing yet. The they called...
That's somewhat Revacholian.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, and if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling...
She won't maneuver her way.
I am a...
She raises... It's sharp.
No. Are you
In her green... Forgive, but only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes.
Death?
Beneath her waterproof raincoat and silk shirt is a
I'm afraid when the dust settled, the Liberals were the only one with due...
While
I would not...
She realized...
Then for my daughter...
Dark orange flames reflect...
Perhaps...
You're no dummy yourself.
A smart boy? Yes.
Seditious talk, man.
Yes. Whatever else I am. I'm also a mother. A bird? A... Svenis? Some sort of... Of course you're not, my dear. This place, it's lovely, really. Yes. Don't worry. I'll never get around to it. The information... What were...
The camera of her mind.
Great body... There is a term... Elysium. Not in this...
The Confederate Republic of Mest, the world's largest state by territory, has fallen into an especially nihilistic strain of nationalism lately.
It isn't enough to call us animals. Even animals aren't animals. They're like you and I suppose. Living organisms don't identify with abstractions. It does. A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists. Oh, you want a picture? Great things are difficult to achieve. We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revachol.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona. Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
You seem to be spooked. Please don't be. They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound. I don't know about things of that scale. My expertise lies in nations and trade routes, one or several layers below everything. But yes, we'll be fine. Don't worry.
She does not seem convinced that you'll be fine. If anything, she's realizing how deep your condition runs.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it. See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity. Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
Glad to have been of assistance. Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer? Oh? Okay. Oh. Yes, sorry I couldn't help you out. Really? A lot of stuff. I guess that makes you into some sort of terrier. Either way, I can't help you out. Oh. That's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? An installation. Us poor people are stupid and don't get installations. All I see is a heap of trash. This actually calls for a funeral, I think. You never know, officer. Some things might have a soul. Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. Guns are expensive. From time to time, people need a... What makes you... That goes...
That does. Coach means the expression.
Oh? Believe me, everyone here is a...
Sounds like she prefers a...
What makes you... That goes from...
That does. Coach means the expression. Not bad.
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast.
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
That does not go for real men. It does not go for you. Show her. Show her the wonder. Coach means the expression.
No.
She's not afraid, however.
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Guess
If it is.
Gone. To the waves. The sea took him.
The lieutenant shakes.
Yeah. By himself. Inadvertently. He never respected the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day he didn't come back. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interested. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
Yes?
The window stands. You see some lights shimmer. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore. You see your face, such as it is without the expression. It's just... These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose, moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party. I know you do. These Inter-Isolari pants are like wearing a perfect compromise in your nether regions. No one will call the moral intern on you like this, that's for sure. You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be. Makes sense. This is what wearing boring office trousers does to you.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Oh yes, she does. You need to get your drink on. There is no other way for human beings to procreate. Not after 6,000 years of yeast cultivation-based mating rituals.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon.
You think she really needs more of that after a man died at sea? What if I told you it is actually possible to go on a date sober? Before recorded history, men and women were able to do simple, very primitive things together sober. Acknowledge the situation and keep it basic.
I have, and I don't really.
You just want to go for a walk. What kind of a monster doesn't want to go for a walk? Walks are innocent.
Just a walk? I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator. Where would this walk take us, officer?
Nothing creepy, strange, or out there. Keep it airy and simple.
All right, I will walk with you. But you need to understand that nothing is going to happen. We're just walking. Me too. It's been ages since I just had a normal conversation with one of you guys.
She means men.
Stroll on the beach sounds nice. All right, I guess I'll be seeing you at Land's End in the evening, when it gets dark, all right?
She doesn't wait for an answer. You better get ready. old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a gazes steadily at the waves. A sudden gust picks up her dark hair and lets it fall again, tousled, wild. She brushes a few stray locks from her eyes, and only then spots you approaching.
Aye, so here you are. It's late and the sun is going down. It'll be dark soon. If we stay here long enough, we will be joined by a cortege of drunks and teenagers. Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what the locals call a make-out spot. That is not going to happen here today. I just want to make that clear, Dimples.
Her thoughts are still elsewhere, with distances across the water, and with the water itself. Across the rusty water, that's La Delta, the financial district. In the mist-covered distance, towers rise as a rebuke to the poverty of this coast.
Взглянуть на нее, будто ты... ты будто удивлена, что я таки пришел.
Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments.
Вообще-то довольно хорошее планирование времени. Рок-звезды всегда задерживаются. Я хорош.
Aye, so an officer should be. All that running around must need a lot of structuring.
С коротким смешком она оборачивается лицом к отраженному в волнах солнцу. А кому солнцу непонятно.
Her laughter is throaty and warm. It rhymes with the waves and the cries of the gulls. As she turns to face the sun, reflected in the waves, and the skyscrapers rising across the bay, you cannot help following her steady gaze. You should say something, anything. Maybe the tequila sunset thing.
Знаешь, одна из моих прошлых инкарнаций звала себя Tequila Sunset. Интересно, почему?
It's a common Revacholian expression. Means drinking yourself to death.
Я недавно труп обнаружил, мужику полный Tequila Sunset настал.
And what about you? Keeping the name?
Меня зовут Гарри. Других имен мне не нужно. Пожалуй, нынче меня устраивает Гарье Дюбуа. Инициалы, конечно, забавно, но Гарье Дюбуа.
Well then, Officer Dubois.
The remains of the dying sun are reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers rising across the bay. Your mind clears for a moment as your senses take it all in. Not just the glass skyscrapers, fragile looking in the shimmering air. River Esperance flowing into the bay.
Isn't it strange for this all-powerful thing, the sun, to be so generous towards us? You know, the best time to go out fishing is usually towards sunset, when the water is warmer.
The sun also falls on the Capeside tenements and war-torn ruins. An old sea fortress juts out, seemingly impervious to the sheen cast over everything else, shaking you out of your reverie. The sun does little for the dead, and those hopelessly lost in their own minds. Or people living in desert climates with sparse vegetation and little drinking water.
Ты поэтому назвала свое судно «Солнце».
Oh, that was a bit of pride and a bit of superstition.
And a bit of conceptual unity too, it being yellow and all.
Жители пустынь вряд ли в восторге от избытка солнечного света.
Now you're just nitpicking. But I concede. Maybe desert people sometimes disagree.
There's salt in the air, and the cries of the gulls and the skuas, grit of the sand and the green glint of broken bottles. But still your gaze always returns to the dazzling streaks of light, wherever they may be reflected, their fading opulence.
It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. No. And it will outlive them all.
Что ты нажал?
The woman.
I know that you're...
Her thoughts across the rusty water.
Aye, so...
Her laughter as she... You should say something. Anything.
It's a common Revacholian... And what about you? Well then, officer...
The remains of...
Isn't it strange?
The sun. Or the sun does little... Or people living in desert climates with...
Oh.
And a bit of...
Now you're just nitpick.
There's salt.
It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. It's unlike no other powerful being, certainly no powerful organization or government. How can that be?
Должно же хоть что-то быть на нашей стороне.
I guess we wouldn't really be here if that thing wasn't on our team.
У тебя рыболовные крючки в ушах.
These aren't real fishhooks, silly. They're earrings shaped to look like fishhooks. A drunk called Rosemary brought them to me. I kept them.
She's right. They're made mostly of plastic. A cheap novelty gift you can buy from a flower shop or a kiosk. The wind ruffles her hair, silver-streaked in the moonlight.
У тебя необычный голос.
Thank you. I'm half Ubi. My mother was from Ubi Sunt. Not a lot of sun there, I hear, though I've never been.
The wind ruffles her hair, silver-streaked in the moonlight.
Хочешь побывать в Дельте?
It's enough that my fish goes there. 50 real a piece they ask for spring cod.
Так, как думаешь, кто убил повешенного?
Good one. I'm gonna go with the rope.
She thinks it was a riddle. She must not even know of that business. Better that way.
Если не получится, придется опять загрузиться.
To say what? Something interesting? Impossible. must not even know of that business. Say what?
Да ё-моё. Ну, почти. Блин.
In the moonlight.
Ну давай, будем пробовать, пока не получится. Потом я это подрежу.
Here we go.
О, да,
Two different approaches to cap this off with style.
Пожалуйста. Две красивых завершающих реплики. Воззриться на солнце. Да, мощная термоядерная реакция, которой уже 5 миллиардов лет. Воистину, солнце — это божественно. Подождите, божество. У солнца лишь один недостаток. Оно светит не только нам, но и нашим врагам. Господи боже, ну... Первое, конечно.
Aye. And a benevolent one. When did you last have one of those on your side?
Когда моя любовь была со мной, ни за что. Оно и сейчас за меня, ибо я благочестив. Ну, у тебя крыша там протекает. Righteous. I still do am righteous. Может, лет в 20. Может, лет 20.
Well, now you have that giant thing to watch over you. So, to hell with youth. You know, the wind's going to pick up soon, and I have to go, but... Have this. The sun's good, but it doesn't stick things.
Тебе точно
I've
не
no
нужен...
use for it anymore.
Тебе точно не нужен этот меч?
No. Men around here are too drunk to pose a threat to me.
Может, как-нибудь повторим? Да вряд ли.
Doubt it. But thank you for the company.
This is as far as it goes with her. You'd need to put a year between you and your last drink for anything more.
Спасибо, что согласилась прогуляться со мной.
Farewell.
As she walks off, the wind picks up, and the light from the sun seems to fade. The crumbling silhouette of failed electrical R&D towers in the distance, beckoning.
Это прекрасно. Мы вроде как все, что хотели сделать. Поместить этот предмет в активный, чтобы произвести впечатление самого себя. All right. А если переложить? Ничего, да? Так, ладно. Останемся в этом, только надо что-то для логики одеть. Так, смотрим на журнал. Так, тут вроде как все ок. Могу, в принципе, еще под караоке спеть, но потом. Так, сохраняемся здесь. И я думаю, что больше тут делать нечего. Перемещаемся.
The lieutenant's door is closed. No response. What are you still? Where is he? Is he not worried that you haven't found the murder weapon? Doesn't he want to go for a little drive? Anything to not face the hanged disco man yet. You hear the sound of a drawer closing, followed by the shuffling of...
Is that you, Harry? What time is it? To clear our heads from what?
Sleep is what he needs most.
Good night, Harry.
The lieutenant's...
Время для ночной беседы. Он ведь наверняка не против. Прикольно. Ачивка.
The lieutenant...
Так, сейчас напишем.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it. It's not easy, but your bones are so tired from what feel like weeks of work on the case. You have to try. After what feels like hours, you feel you might be sleeping.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street.
Recorded in you forever on ferrotape.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
All stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again, Harrister, a ceaseless agent, picking up litter and old newspapers, collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the working class. For the money, baby. For the greater good. For Revacon. Always and only Revacon.
Solving your little crossword puzzles, doing your tasks, crossing names off lists, trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
Мы продвигаемся вперед, медленно, но верно.
There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Почему?
'Cause only love can break your heart. Beep, beep, beep! The alarm is ringing, Harry! The disco circus goes on and on! You barely slept 3 hours last night!
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go. Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One. Good. You're up. Listen, there's something that's been bothering you for a few days now. It's a suspicion, or a feeling really, that things are not quite in hand around here. An earth-shattering deduction from your psyche. What will those guys come up with next? Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't holding. And despite your efforts to moderate and contain these energies, things only seem to be getting worse.
Погоди, мне казалось, все в целом неплохо.
Oh, sure. You've been making progress on your case, interviewing people, solving side tasks. But who's focusing on the big questions?
Я думала, ими занимаются наиболее квалифицированные в таких делах люди. Звучит как дело совсем не для меня. И что мне делать? Стратегические вопросы. Это какие?
But have you ever seen them? How do you know they're even there? More importantly, how do you know they aren't waiting for your participation?
И что мне делать?
You've got to find out who bears la responsabilité.
Я думал, в конечном итоге мне решать, на ком ответственность, за убийство. А что именно такое? Ответственность.
The most awesome, terrible thing. It is human nature to crave la responsabilité and to deny it. That's why it must be distributed across many different organizations, agencies, offices, and portfolios. Harry, you're thinking about this too narrowly. La responsabilité isn't concerned with trivial questions like who killed who. It's about the real issues. The human welfare index, the price of staple goods, the transition to real democracy.
В общем, политика опять.
Whoa. This isn't some kind of dictatorship. You can't simply seize la responsabilité for yourself. It must be given by a legitimate authority. Like a committee.
У нас точно есть на это время, кто будет состоять в этой комиссии. У нас точно есть на это время.
There is always time to follow best practices. Once someone's decided to cut corners for the sake of expediency, who knows what else they're capable of? Swift, decisive action. Mass executions. Fun stuff. That's what they're capable of. Only the most even-keeled minds in Martinez. Your half-brother, the lieutenant, is a natural place to start. Together, you'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in Revachol. And, if necessary, you'll have the wisdom and expertise to assign it among yourselves.
И что будет, когда мы возложим ответственность?
Most likely, your findings will be collected in a report, which will be carefully reviewed by your superiors. Once they've reviewed it, those same superiors will produce a set of recommendations to be taken up at the next meeting of the Standing Committee. Rest assured, no matter what happens, it will be done through the proper channels. Good luck. Your report is eagerly anticipated.
Здесь царит полный беспорядок, кто определенно должен что-нибудь с этим сделать. Однако для начала стоит сформировать комитет с другими моралистами, чтобы постановить, чья это забота. Соберите комитет моралистов для распределения обязанностей. Возможно, Ким знает, с чего начать. Но я 100% взяла бы вот эту девушку из рыбацкой деревни. Она как минимум уже за 3 детей отвечает. То есть она знает, что нужно делать для того, чтобы люди были сыты, довольны. обеспеченный жильем и безопасностью, готовы идти на компромиссы и понимает, от чего стоит отказаться во имя общего блага. Неплохой такой лидер для начала.
Boy, am I ever so grateful to you, officer. But I'm not the only one who wants to thank you.
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Это был эпичный забег на дальней дистанции.
Truly a lot of legwork. My partner adores these kinds of things.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie. Mexican origin. The pin is an antique. Quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
Oh, you don't want to hear about
Ramblings. Nonsense.
But darling, I didn't even get...
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it.
Reflexively, the lieutenant...
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5 and a half in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories. Not the billowy haze of infanthood. Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
Our first, yes.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here, what makes it a confirmed sighting. She had no previous knowledge of the insect.
So she couldn't have made it up, or imagined it.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, "Lena, you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here." They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Спасибо, что поделились.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own, into the mud, anywhere.
Так, сейчас сохранимся.
Oh, hello, sweetie. Yes, I saw it, but you're welcome, sweetie.
And she could get up and walk.
Oh, yeah.
It's a...
That's
She's used to playing.
My apologies.
It's not a searching.
The quality of research at Revacholi, she's completely internalized her husband's struggles.
Oh, yeah.
It's a...
That's
She's used.
My apologies.
It's not searching.
The quality, she's completely
Of course, dear. That would be the giant lives, no one knows.
Who are you?
That's what there are.
Great. Gravity anomaly. Digging it. Digging this.
No. It's the cryptid. Oh, yes. The eight-eyed Teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a
mutation.
Until it was sighted by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated. The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east, alone in the black. He was lost, without any navigation equipment, and desperately low. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal.
Eat the bird. Uva. It's the only way to survive.
Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of... The professor...
Watch out.
Then, the bird was controlling his mind. It kept him...
Так, хорошо. Надо сделать перерывчик, потому что я уже не воспринимаю текст никакой. Так, вот загрузим вот это, чтобы сразу с этого продолжить. Может быть сегодня, может быть попозже, но надо уже эту игру добивать, выяснить, что тут происходит. Так что до следующего раза. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Всем пока.